Hey guys, we've all had moments where we felt like the outsider, someone looking in. But one of the interesting things about COVID-19 is that it has really crystallized for me how it doesn't discriminate and how we as human beings are all one. And that's why I feel that it's important that I categorically condemn the uptick in racism and xenophobia brought on by this pandemic against Chinese Americans. This is not a Chinese virus. This is a coronavirus, and it doesn't care who you are. It can cause you harm. And we've learned from previous videos that the coronavirus family is a virus family that has harmed human beings for many, many years. We talked about SARS in 2002. We talked about MERS in 2012, which occurred in the Saudi Arabian Peninsula, and now we're dealing with COVID-19. But the one common theme amongst all three of these coronaviruses is that they emanate from bats. And in fact, we've learned that the coronavirus family uses bats as their natural reservoir. That means that they don't hurt bats, bats don't hurt them, and they can exist generationally in bat colonies. And it's when bats and human beings intersect that there is the potential for great harm. And that's why we have to have a difficult conversation about wet markets. Now, wet markets are not unique to China. In fact, you can find them all over the world. And what a wet market is where live animals are kept usually in cramped cage conditions for the sale and the slaughter for human consumers. In Wuhan, China, in these wet markets, it's also common to find exotic animals, animals like bats, as well as animals like pangolins, which is that small anteater from Malaysia that gets smuggled into China for human consumption. But we now know that the most likely theory for how COVID-19 has been unleashed on the world is that it likely began in bats, which is reasonable since we know that that's where the coronavirus family likes to stay. But from the bats, it went to the pangolin, and from pangolin, it went to human beings. And so I think that while being deeply respectful of ethnic differences, cultural differences, racial differences that may lie, that we have to draw a line here. And as a world community, as a medical community, as a scientific community, we have to make it clear that wet markets, and in particular wet markets that house bats, that sell bats for human consumptions, is a practice that must stop.